Welcome live to the Edward Fowler Show on this lovely Thursday evening, because of course where I am, we're expecting a dangerous storm to come through here in Manchester, UK tomorrow, with a amber to warning to danger for the public tomorrow, while my guest in good old Ohio is experiencing some warm weather. So while we're gearing up for a dangerous storm tomorrow, you're enjoying some warm weather. Please welcome back to the show by, I believe, popular demand, I would say, but who knows. It's former WCW/TNA star, the one and only Shark Boy. Welcome back to the show today. Yes, you're very welcome. How are you doing on this lovely day?
I'm doing fine, man. Yeah, it warmed up just a little bit the last couple of days here in Ohio. It's actually supposed to get cold again tonight. We're supposed to get a little bit of freezing rain tonight. So it didn't last very long, just a couple of days.
Yeah, well, that's good. But I mean, as well, if you are watching live or on the or afterwards, and you want to leave a comment or anything like that, please do, either in the live chat or in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about this great discussion, great chat with a Cincinnati Bengals fan. How are you today after what is it now? Like 4 or 5 days ago when the Super Bowl happened in good old Los Angeles? Are you disappointed about the team, or were you quite impressed at how they almost won the game, and it went down to the end there when the LA Rams pulled it out?
Yeah. I mean, obviously it's disappointing. Would have wanted to see the Bengals win, of course. But the reality is we haven't had this quarterback very long. He was injured halfway through the season last year, so we've only had him for one full season, really, about a season and a half total. And, I feel like the Bengals got to the Super Bowl way ahead of schedule. I think we still had some, they expected it to take a couple seasons to be able to make it that far. So I feel like we got to the big game ahead of schedule, and that just means that the next couple or 3 years, we got a chance to go back and maybe go all the way and win the thing next time. That's how I feel about it. We're pretty optimistic about this team. We haven't seen a team like this in 3 decades. So, well, we've been waiting for this, and it's hard to be too upset about the success that the Bengals had this season.
Yes, and your manager, your head coach, has signed a new deal, hasn't he? Worth $5 billion or $5 million, whatever it is. He should be paid more money than that, though, I think, since he got him to the final of a Super Bowl. Don't you agree with that, or do you think that is a good pay?
I didn't see the money. I just saw that it was a 5-year deal that he signed. I didn't actually get into the details of it. So I don't know. I don't know if he's making enough or not. I just hope he makes the right moves. I'd like to see them get an offensive line and protect Joe Burrow, protect our franchise quarterback. I think that's the key in the offseason, is figuring out how to he's the treasure, and you got to build the castle wall up so nobody gets to him, and that's what we need to focus on this offseason, I think.
Yeah, don't blame you there. Don't blame you. But, I mean, 3 years, they say, don't they, to build a team, to get him to the Super Bowl, So let's see another 3 years under him. Let's see what he can do and if he can take him back to the Super Bowl again. Some people are saying it could happen next year. I don't think so. I think a bit too soon. Do you think he can go next year again?
Well, I mean, this year was supposed to be too soon. Everywhere you looked, we were picked to finish last in our division. Every single thing you read, it was going to be the Ravens or the Steelers or even the Browns. They were all picked to win. We were picked to come in last everywhere you looked. And so to win the division, and then not only that, but beat every other great team in the AFC and go to the Super Bowl, like I said, that we were way ahead of schedule just to being able to do that. So I don't think there's any reason why we can't go back next year or the year after that. I think we're destined to return, and we've got to win one of these times. We've had 3 Super Bowl appearances total in the history of the franchise, and the Bengals have lost, I think, by a combined 10 or 11 points in all 3 games. They've been super close Super Bowls. We've almost won each and every time. One of these times it's bound to happen. We're bound to go all the way and get our first world title.
Yes, indeed, your first world title. Of course, you have to wait a bit longer, don't you? It's almost been over 30 years ago, hasn't it? So just as old as Liverpool had to wait to win their Premier League title. Took them 30 years to win that. Yeah, it took them 30 years. A bit longer for you guys. So I'm sure the Liverpoolian fans who may support the Bengals.
The Liverpool fans and the Cincinnati fans can relate to each other, I suppose.
They can. Well, they can, but I mean, Liverpool's won it now. They won it in 2019. I think it was, or trade to mark exactly 30 years. But yeah, they can feel your pain of what the Bengal fans are going through. Still waiting.
Well, it's nice to know we're not suffering alone. That's nice.
Yes. But I mean, even the Raiders haven't won, a Super Bowl for years as well. Maybe not as long as the Bengals, but I mean, it's been a few years still.
Sure. Yeah, but they're a franchise that has some. I don't know how many Super Bowls they've won, but I know they've been to the big dance a handful of times. And for for the Bengals, it's just been a lot tougher struggle, I think. And there's not, I think there's only 4 or 5 teams that have never won a Super Bowl, if I'm correct, or have never been to one, maybe, if I'm correct about that. We're one of them, that's never won. So, there's only a few teams that can relate to that type of struggle.
But I mean, at least you actually, at least when your team, at least you have to say, when as you say, some teams never been to the Super Bowl, but at least you can say your team has type things. So that's great.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So,
yeah, and I think we're heading in the right direction. All these guys that we have on our team are young; they're in the mid-20s.
Yeah,
they got plenty. They have plenty of time left. So it's a really exciting time to be a Bengals fan, actually.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100% about that. But I mean, they have to do something different though for next season because again, the draft is coming up. So obviously, it's other teams. Get a good pick in the draft kind of thing. Because I believe, isn't it the Jags? They get the first pick again because they were the worst team.
Yeah, right. Yes, and then the Bengals will pick second to last. That's how it works.
Who do you think they will get? Any first-hand predictions here? You hear it here first from Sharp Boy who he thinks.
I'll tell you, I haven't done enough studying on that. And it's not as easy as when we had the first pick and Joe Burrow was available. It was like, we need him. When you're pick number 31, there's a whole lot of moving parts. There's a whole lot of stuff that can happen ahead of your pick. So I haven't studied enough to be able to tell you who I think, who I think we'll wind up with. I will tell you that I think we can't fix our offensive line problem with the draft. I don't think you can ask a guy coming out of college to slide right into that spot. I think we're probably going to have to find some free agents, some people with experience that we can sign, and put them in that position. So I don't know that I would look at the draft to solve the O-line problem. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we'll just need to take the best players on the board, like you normally do.
Yeah, no, I get you. I get just over. We'll see who gets drafted to the Bengals. I guess in the draft coming up in April time is when it usually happens. So we were discussing this off the air, weren't we, a few minutes ago? And you were saying that you caught some of this. But what was your reaction when you heard Brock Lesnar now doing a Stone Cold Steve Austin impression, of course, on a different channel, which we won't name because they've got thousands and millions of people watching all around the world. But did you enjoy Brock Lesnar on that particular show? And when you make up his Stone Cold Steve Austin impression, do you think you got some competition there?
Yeah, I'll tell you, I only caught just a little bit of it. I saw the part where he did the Stone Cold. I thought it was outstanding, man. And he had everybody in the studio, saying what with, right along with him.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. And then the accent when he threw the headphones up in the rafters was just classic. It's funny to me. I was reading that, somebody tweeted, can you believe that for all these years, Brock has just stood there while Paul Heyman did all the talking. We never knew until recently how great, how expressive Brock was on the mic and how great a promo he was. So I think it's really cool that after all these years, he's coming out and speaking for himself, and he's very, very good at it.
Yeah, no, there's that, but also quite hilarious as well. So he's got some comedic, ways about him as well, which nobody realized he could do. Really, we all thought this is some scary guy who needed a mouthpiece, but all these years, it's been a great secret for WWE for keeping him under hinge all these years until recently, isn't it? So it's good to see. And of course, that was his first, I believe, ever interview as well outside WWE.
Well, and it's kind of cool because now it's almost like he's sort of reinventing himself after all this time, which you have to do, I think.
How have you reinvented yourself, Sharp Boy? After being around for over 20 years, I think it's been almost 23 years now. You've been doing this for?
No, actually, in May it'll be 25 years.
Okay, sorry, my apologies. On Google, which you shouldn't really rely on, it says 1999 you debuted apparently. So I do apologize. Only 2 years out, but yeah, no. So 25 years. And how have you stayed relevant and reinvent yourself then?
I'm not sure I have, to be honest with you. I think the last big change The last big change I would say was I hadn't spoken on TV, and then I woke up out of the coma, and suddenly I sound like this.
Yeah.
So that was a really big thing. And I think here lately, what I tend to do, and I don't know if you and I, perhaps we've talked about this before, but whenever I do shows now, you sort of get Shark Boy's greatest hits. Yeah. I do a little bit of the Stone Cold stuff, and I do a little bit of the biting and the silly stuff that, I kind of, it's like when you go to a concert, you expect to hear 3 or 4 songs for sure. I try to make sure I play those songs if I can. They don't always work within the context of the match, so I don't try to force it. That's the main thing. But if I can, I try to give you all the Shark Boy stuff you're expecting to see.
Gotcha. And I think we have spoken about it before, and as you say, but I mean, for some peculiar reason, when we spoke for the first time, you said that you're not taking as many bookings, okay? But what I mean by that is like maybe not next to each show, but like you have one on one day, and then you may have one the next week. But for some reason, you've booked yourself for 2 days in a row, which is going to be extremely hard on your body, isn't it, Shark Boy?
Well, yeah, and it's actually pretty. I think that was a mistake. But, that was an error in scheduling there. It's not something I've done a lot here lately. It's just tougher and tougher on the body to get in there and do what we do. I still love it though, and as long as the demand is there, I'll keep doing it.
Well, the thing is, yourself and Wino. I mentioned Wino as well, but I mean, like yourself and Wino seem to be very relevant in 2022. I don't know why that is, but you two just seem the most demand people in 2022. Really, I don't know what the reason is behind that, but obviously you guys are doing something correct.
I guess, yeah. I mean, at least in Rhino's case, he's just he's a really entertaining guy right up to now. He's great to fun to go and watch. So I'd like to think I fall in that category as well. Just kind of going out there and doing our thing still at this point. I mean, it's I think it's great that he's still relevant. And I hope people see me that way too.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. But maybe either the show on the 12th or the 13th, maybe you should do a Q&A with the audience to see if they still think you are relevant. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you, I get a lot of one-on-one time with people at the shows, and I get feedback on things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of these shows that I'm doing has a fan fest, so I'm looking forward to that. I like talking to people and seeing I like finding out what they're into now, like what wrestlers are entertaining them, what kind of wrestling are they watching, and that sort of helps guide the direction that you head. I think at this point,
Yeah, and speaking about this, of course, speaking about that, as I say, is that on March the 12th, you were going to be appearing with many great legends of wrestling, aren't you? It's in Ohio. You can see the poster on your screen there. Big Time Wrestling invades on Saturday, March the 12th, 2022. You got Kurt Angle, Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner. You got BG James going to be there as well. There's so many legends. It's hard to just run through them all. Even Kurt Angle's going to be there as well, who you mentioned last time you were on the show, obviously.
Yeah.
I can't believe that you're not on that poster though. Like Shark Boy should be on that poster.
Well, what's funny is I was on the original poster, right. And as they started adding names, I got pushed off the bottom of the posters. That just speaks to how big the show is and how many legends are truly going to be there. It's really going to be an outstanding event.
Sorry. I'm just going to say, is there any legends who have been announced either on the poster or who it's too big to put on the poster, who you've not actually had the chance to speak to for so many years that you're looking forward to reconnecting with?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of those guys I really can't wait to see. I would say, BGJ Road Dogg for sure, right off the top. Haven't talked to him in a long time, and I can't wait to see Rhodey. Kurt Angle for sure. Booker T, I always love seeing him. Scott Steiner, he and I have crossed paths many times in my career, believe it or not. Just all those guys, man. I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't bring in a 40 figure or even a great commentator, or a ring announcer, like Mike Tenay, for instance, or even what's his name? I remember the name from last time, but the former WCW/TNA announcer as well. He should be there. Surprised he's not. But anyway, but you know who I mean.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just lucky I'm there, I
guess. Yeah, you were the first people thought, oh, great, Strongbows going to be there. And then when they kept announcing great people, you just kind of got bunked right down the list. It's a bit of appalling, I have to say. You should maybe bite or stun the owner for disrespecting you on the poster.
I'll have to find out who's in charge and take care of something.
Yeah, exactly. You should. But what can the fans expect from you in basically your hometown of Ohio on March the 12th? Are you going to be, confronting Elite Legends? Are you going to be teaming up with anybody, or what's going to happen? Do you know?
No, I'm teaming up with Superman Onyx. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him or not. If you look him up, he's been there and done that. He's been around a long time and great big strong guy. Great guy to have as a tag team partner for sure. And we're actually booked against the franchise Shane Douglas.
Oh, right, okay.
And his partner is somebody who's calling themselves Pittsburgh Steeler number 7, I think.
Oh God. Well, Well, I hope, as you said in a video I saw the other day, I hope you kick their ass.
Yes. You
should kick their ass.
I got Houday blood running through my veins, and they're putting me against the Steelers, so you can see where this is going.
Yeah. But I can't believe that Shane Douglas is still going strong in 2022. Ripping neck.
Yeah.
How many times have you two have crossed paths?
Oh yeah, that's another guy. I should have mentioned him earlier. I always love running into Shane. Of course, this situation we're going to be against each other in the ring, but he and I have I've known Shane a long time. I want to say I think he lives in Pennsylvania. I could be wrong about that, but I feel like he's at least was based there at one time. So a whole lot of Ohio, Pennsylvania, we're kind of neighboring states. So we've run into each other at all the various independent promotions in the Midwest of the United States.
Interesting. Well, I hope he doesn't come up to you on Saturday, March 12th and say to you, I do not live in Pittsburgh. I live somewhere way better than that freezing cold city. But hopefully, maybe I'd say actually correct. That might be correct. You never know. But how long has it been since you two spoke then?
I actually ran into Shane. I think it was last summer. They did the ICP, the Juggalo, the Gathering of the Juggalos.
Oh yes, I know you mean. Yeah.
We were both on that card. The second night, I think they did wrestling, or it was a Saturday night, I think. We got to talk then and catch up a little bit. So hadn't been that long ago since I ran into him.
No, it's not, is it? Very recently, actually, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
I was going to say, you mentioned Booker T. He used to have a show. I don't know if he still had this particular show on ESPN or not in Houston. But I actually called into a show once. And unfortunately, I didn't get to hear his answer because whoever ran the production for his show kind of ended the call on me as he was giving his answer to me after he kind of mocked my accent of being from Manchester, UK. So I kind of got disconnected of the Booker T show on ESPN a few years ago.
What, do you want me to bring that up?
No. I'm just saying out there that I've had the privilege of having Booker T answer a question of mine, but I don't know what he actually said because I was disconnected during his answer.
Gotcha.
Which is quite a shame.
He and his wife Charmel brought me into Texas a couple of times to work for their promotion that they have down there, which was fantastic.
Yes,
so I always love running the book.
You should say Queen Charmel. Respect Queen
Charmel.
Yes,
yeah,
Queen. Yeah.
She's fantastic. They're both great.
Yeah, I know. It's a shame that we don't really see much of the Queen on WWE with Booker T. She could just be a ringside, giving him drinks or looking after his crown, kind of thing, like he is, like she used to do.
Yeah, that was a great act they had for sure.
and then on March 13th, you're heading to Indiana,
Yes,
in a different part of the world, not too far from where you are. You're into Indiana, the home of Pat McAfee, and of course where Brock Lesnar was earlier this week, for 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Interesting name. I wonder who brought that name up. You're actually on the poster, so yay! At least this company respects you for making sure you are on the poster. You've seen the poster.
yeah,
Do you think they did a good job of the poster? Whoever made it?
sure, I do. Yeah, it's a show I would buy a ticket to see.
Good.
So
Good. That's good to hear. Of course, it's got some great talent on there because you've got Isaiah Moore, who's been on AEW Dark a few times. You've got Brutus Dillon. He's going to be there. Idol is going to be there as well. You got Jensen. You got Fireball. And you got Kenzie Black as well, and some of the great other talent who are not on the poster, but will be competing on the show. It's going to be a great show. You're going to be there in some capacity. We don't know what you're going to be doing there yet. Do you know what you're going to be doing yet? Any hints?
I know
teasers?
Whipping somebody's bass. I know that much.
Right. Well, maybe. Well, I do understand that there's going to be a battle royal on this show, and apparently the last 4 competitors will compete out, and then the winner of that will go on to face a PWK champion of their choosing. So we will see if you make it into that final 4, or if you're just going to be out there talking before that match or whatnot. Who knows what you're going to be doing, but you have to be there to see it. So buy a ticket today at pwk1.com is where you can get the latest information all about that great show in a few weeks' time on March 13th, 2022. A great afternoon show, 12 p.m. Special start time at 12 p.m. Eastern. So you might be battered and bruised from the night before, and you have to go up really early in the morning to compete at 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, I may not sleep. You know how long it takes to swim from Chillicothe over to Mishawaka, Indiana? A long time.
About 3 hours. Maybe about 3 hour swim.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, you'll be there for midnight, and then you can rest, and then get up early in the morning to get there early, and then kick some ass, as you said.
Yeah. I like getting my fighting done early, so that'll be good.
Yeah. How often have you competed at 12 o'clock in the afternoon? I bet it's quite rare, isn't it, for you?
It's been a long time. Yeah, it's been a long time for sure. I don't do a ton of matinee shows. I have done some, but it's been a while since I have. So, yeah, I'm just gonna have to sort of tell my body, okay, it's time to go. It's time to get in there and fight. But I'm confident I'll be able to do it.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to that, and hopefully you can, and hopefully come out victorious, and then we can see you back in PWK to kick the ass of their champion and take the belt.
Yeah. That's the goal. That's what I'd like to have happen right there.
Yeah. Well, I'm just prediction here. Again, I could be completely wrong. I don't know what Sharp Boy's going to be doing. I have no affiliation with the company, so I am also out the loop, just like Sharp Boy is, until he finds out on the day of the show when he walks in those doors in that location in the Holiday Inn at 12 p.m. Eastern. Of course, the bell time I'm guessing will be about 11 a.m. or 11:30 a.m. For bell time. I mean, for the doors to be open, not bell time, obviously. Doors will be open by 11 or 11:30 that morning. Be interested to see if you have any merchandise. I'm sure you'll be bringing your own merch, won't you, Sharp Boy, to bring with you?
Yeah, definitely. I'll have some stuff there, and I usually try to make it so that like I said before, so I'll have a chance to sort of interact with the fans. You come over to the table and meet me at some point, and that's part of the fun, getting to meet somebody that you kind of, that you came to watch wrestle. You get a few minutes to chat with them. Yeah. I always try to make myself available for that.
Yeah, that's good. 2 more things before we all wrap this up, because we are running out of time with you, so we will say it very fast. There's rumors going around that good old Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to be coming out of retirement at WrestleMania. Do you think those are true, or what is your reaction to hearing this news?
I mean, I have no idea. I would, I'm like anybody else. I'm a fan. I would love to see him be involved with the show in some way. I don't know that he'll come back and wrestle again. It's sure has been a long time.
19
Not to
years.
say, yeah, not to say he couldn't do it, but I don't know that I would want to after all that time. But if he wants to, that's a real treat for the fans. I think just for him to be involved in any way would be exciting.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. 19 years ago when he last wrestled, I was about 3 or 4 when he last wrestled. That's not telling my age. If you were 57, Sharp Boy, and you let's say you've been retired maybe 3 or 4 years, when you get to 57, you might still be wrestling then. Hopefully, you will be. Would you think about coming out of retirement at 57 if you did retire?
Absolutely not. No, I don't know, man. I mean, I have no idea. It's hard to say. I wasn't sure I'd still be wrestling at 47. Yet here I am.
So you're 47 right now, you're a Sharp Boy.
I am. Yeah.
Wow.
That's I'm telling on myself there.
No,
right?
no. That's good. That's a good age, That's a good age.
I just had a birthday some weeks ago.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I saw the people on Twitter wishing you a happy birthday. I didn't want to be rude by asking you on Twitter, like, happy birthday, but how old are you? So I'm glad you told me now. But yeah, now I'm going to say happy 48th birthday next year to you, Sharp. So
right.
that's one thing I can
say.
Well,
when you start hearing people say, I've been in this business 25 years, you do a little bit of math, you got to figure, I'm right about that age,
sometimes, some wrestlers begin in their 30s or 40s sometimes as well. So,
Right. Yeah. No, I was, I think I would have been about 22 when I had my first match. I think like at first match in front of fans. I think I was 22. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, we're finishing on 5:30 your time. My time to say 12 your time, because you said you have to dash to the closing bell, as they say, on another network. So we'll let you dash out of here, Sharp Boy. It's been a pleasure as always. We wish you the best of luck for your 2-night events. Hopefully you won't be damaging yourself too much. Here we go. We just got a email for something over. to do a press release stuff. Anyway, has nothing to do with this show. Anyway, you have me a dash to the bell. We wish you the best of luck for your tonight events coming up in March. Of course, you can check them out here again. I do not know the official website for Big Time Wrestling, but they're going to be on that location on March 12th. Do you know the time or the doors open and such?
Oh, I don't have that in front of me. There is a fan, like a convention kind of thing, I believe, in the afternoon.
Okay.
If I had to guess, I would say it starts around 1 o'clock, maybe something like that. And then I think the wrestling starts around 6:30.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of an all-day thing. You get to go and sort of meet all the stars that are going to be there.
Nice.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, you have my Twitter handle, don't you?
Yes, we do. Here we go. Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
Well, it's Sharkboy24_7. And if you get on there, I'm going to be retweeting information about all the shows I have coming up. So all the information about Chillicothe will be on there, as well as Mishawaka, Indiana, and anything else I get involved in. I got a show coming up in Florida here. It's a week after all that. I'll be back in the ring. I'll be down in Florida. So
right. Wow.
There'll be information about that on there as well.
Gotcha. Well, I didn't think you go to Florida much, Sharp Boy, so I'm glad you are going back to Florida.
That's where all the sharks are.
That is true. Yeah. But you live up in Ohio, though, anyway, so there you go.
I do. Yeah, but I have spent a lot of time wrestling in Florida with TNA and other groups down there.
Yes, you have. Yeah, that's very true. Back in about just over 10 years ago, with Corey Man. He's hot, he's spicy. We all know who he is now, don't we? It's Christopher Daniels. Who knew that?
Well, I didn't know that.
Well, he talked about on an interview on another channel as well about his time as Curry Man.
Yeah. Well, now that I know that, Curry Man actually owes me $50, so I know to get a hold of Daniels and try to get it back.
That's hilarious. That's a story for another time, I bet. But yeah, we hope you enjoy your time there on March 12th, and we hope it goes well, and hopefully you will not be mentioning me to anybody in Ohio on Saturday, March 12th.
Okay.
But on that note, if you enjoyed this episode of the Fowler Show, make sure to leave a like. Make sure to share the video around on this lovely Thursday of the 17th of February 2022. Make sure to subscribe if you're new around here. We got over 166 subscribers compared to our other people who we mentioned before. And of course, Sharp Boy appeared on another podcast who had been on this show like 2 years ago, Gully Locks, who probably got more listeners than I do. So I bet that was a fun, but make sure you check out her social media for when Sharp Boy's interview will be dropping. I'm sure she'll be tagging him on his Twitter account as well when it comes out. As well, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about this episode. If you enjoyed it, let me know what the your opinions are about what we discussed. Any future questions you would like me to ask to Sharp Boy, because I will ask him on your behalf here. So I hope you enjoy all that. But from all of us here from the Fowler Show, enjoy the next episode drops. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday afternoon or evening.